Hello and good day to all of you out there watching this video. I'm Michael DiMartino, the host and producer for Golden Road TV and Radio, and today I'm working in collaboration with ARC, the Alliance for Resilient Communities, and we have the great honor to spend some time, get to know, and to interview David Howland. So welcome.
Thank you for having me here today.
And we got to meet the other day at the farmers market briefly. You're doing some really important work, which has come to light in recently the legal case with the gentleman in Vallejo who won against Monsanto, but also with Michael Parson, who got front page on the Union talking about the effect of Roundup on the organic farms in Nevada County. So you're here, you're a specialist, you have an illustrious history. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background of what brings you to this work today.
Well, in the last 7 years, I've been working on a biological sensor that monitors the level of life in water or other fluids. It provides an output in proportion to how much life is in the fluids. And prior to that, I managed an engineering department, product development in water treatment, especially in chemicals, chemical controls, and such.
So you're not a hobbyist, you really are a specialist.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. So thanks for being here today, and let's get right to it. Tell us here in Nevada County and for many around the world, what's happening and what's in our water.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in our water, and it's quite a challenge for the water providers to manage it. This is surface water primarily here. Water treatment intends to remove toxins and to control pathogens, and they do a pretty good job of that, actually. Many toxins, including pesticides, are entering our water, and that's a big concern to the farming community here, as they use the raw water before it goes through the treatment plants.
And of course, pharmaceuticals,
yes.
All sorts of things. Microplastics are getting into the water.
Yes, and the mining industry as well.
Right. So let's elaborate. Again, we could talk for hours on this topic, but what's the difference when we get water out of our tap between treatment and filtration?
Water treatment is much more comprehensive than just water filtering. And water filtering is still absolutely essential that you do that on your taps and your showers and your schools and what have you. Absolutely essential, especially in these day and ages. Yeah.
And of course, chlorine and all the other things, maybe rusty pipes, which all affect us outside of the pesticides and the pharmaceuticals and all the other toxins that find their way into our drinking water.
Yeah, that's correct. If you have pipes that are super old, it will leach in lead, for example, and be beyond the limits.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit of insight of what water providers must go through as far as regulations to bring drinking water to consumers?
They're responsible to meet maximum contamination levels set on the toxins that they're responsible to remove from the water.
And is it true that some toxins can't be removed from drinking water?
Some toxins are much more difficult to remove from water in certain water processes, and they may or may not include those water processes in water treatment.
So knowing this information here specifically in Nevada County, what are the concerns of farmers, whether they're getting water from the NID ditch or they're getting it from the tap or through public utilities? What's the big concern?
Primarily would be the pesticides that are in the water. Water providers are using Roundup in the ditches, and they're approved to do so. Farmers are a little concerned with that. There's also sources of Roundup and other pesticides in the raw water before the treatment plants. And so the organic farmers are especially concerned that they're feeding Roundup to their plants and animals.
Which is what got Michael Parsons his front page interview in the Union, because he is an organic farmer, and he brought to light that, well, a lot of the farms here in the county might not really be organic because they're using this NID, this Roundup and glyphosate tainted water, along with all of the other toxins that are potentially in the water. So knowing that, is there a history of toxic chemicals in the United States that are being used that are directly affecting consumers in general?
Well, yes, that brings us to this guy here. In 1917, What's called the Radium Girls were hired to paint the radium on the dials of watches and clocks. And what was interesting is nobody knew at the time that that was a toxin. And it took 21 years or so before they realized that. And some of the deceased bodies of the ones that survived glow in the dark. So that's pretty heavy stuff.
So, you know, of course, in this day and age, there's a lot more things that are coming to light, things like the effects of GMOs, the use of bio and geoengineering to potentially slow down climate change. So we can see everywhere fluoride in our water, inorganic food, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, that there are a lot of toxins that are using in our water. So is there something that we can add to our water or do to our water to make it a little safer?
Water filtration is the point of use. Water filtration is the thing that we must do more now than ever before.
Right.
And it has to be the appropriate kind of water filtration, and they have to be serviced properly. That's what we can do.
Right. So again, we could go on this subject, I know, for a lot of time, but we'd like to get right to the point. We don't want to just bring issues to light here through Golden Road TV and ARC. We want to really give solutions. So what can people do besides the water filter?
Yeah, water filtration is the biggest thing they can do, but they can also vote for people that are more interested in health issues. They can learn and teach. They can inspire others. They can ensure point-of-use water filtration is in their schools. And they can consciously look for water filtration in point of use and make a change there. And they can get involved in any way that makes sense to them.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, once again, you're tuning into Golden Road TV. I'm your host, Michael DiMartino, working in collaboration with ARC, the Alliance for Resilient Communities. I want to thank David Howland for his time and his expertise, and also for some really exciting patents and inventions that you're working on that are dealing with some of these issues. So thank you so much for your time.
Exactly.
All right. And we'll be back.